Title: My daughter said, "Don't make a big deal out of it." I heard her words and froze. Don't make a big deal out of it, Dad. It was just an innocent one-night stand. Mom still loves you, but she wants to feel desirable. You can't buy fancy gifts like her lover. You're just a simple manager. Uncle Jake is super rich. He promised me a luxury car, not that rusty junk you bought me. If you file for divorce, I'll sue you for domestic misuse. The air around me went cold. I had heard her, but I had already known. The truth had been whispering to me for months, hiding in subtle smiles, stolen glances, whispered phone calls. I had seen enough to plant cameras in her room, to listen, to wait. Every word she uttered that day was a confession, a poisoned arrow aimed straight at my heart. She didn't know I had played the long game. My lawyer already had the papers ready. College tuition? Gone. $6,100 per year vanished with a single signature. I smiled internally, silent, calm, calculating. I remembered her as a little girl, her hand in mine, laughter spilling through the house like sunlight. Birthday mornings where I scrambled to wrap cheap toys, but gave her love, whole and unreserved. I remembered staying up nights, comforting her through nightmares, watching her grow under my eyes. I thought our bond was ironclad, unshakable. Now it was molten steel turned to acid. I noticed the first cracks 6 months ago. Late nights, excuses I didn't believe, bills that didn't add up. Subtle changes in her tone, a distance I couldn't bridge. But I didn't confront. I waited. I listened. I collected. The cameras were small, almost invisible. They caught everything. The promises whispered, the disdain for my modest gifts, the gleam in her eyes when she mentioned Uncle Jake's wealth. I recorded every word, every sneer, every plan she believed I could never uncover. And in the quiet of my office, I played them back. Cold, clinical, satisfying. I mapped out my revenge like a general preparing for battle. College tuition halted. The car she wanted, gone, replaced with the rusty relic she had mocked. Legal routes charted, contracts primed to hit her with every consequence imaginable. I left trails, planted evidence, and let the illusion of ignorance fool her. She pranced around believing she was untouchable, that her little schemes were invisible. The day came when I acted. I invited her into the living room, a casual smile plastered on my face. The cameras had given me more than proof. They gave me timing, anticipation, a perfect moment for revelation. "Do you have a minute?" I asked, voice calm. She turned, a hint of smugness curling her lips. "Sure, Dad. What's up?" I pressed play on the laptop. Her own words filled the room. The betrayal echoed off the walls. Her face went pale, eyes darting to the screen, searching for escape. But there was none. Every lie, every manipulation, every false claim of affection, captured in cold, undeniable clarity. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. "Dad, it's not what—" I let her sputter, calm, controlled, like a storm contained behind a dam. I leaned back, arms crossed. "It is exactly what it is, and I've already acted. Tuition stopped, car replaced, legal protections in place. You played your hand, and now," I paused, savoring the shift, the power settling into my chest. "You will face the consequences." She collapsed into the sofa, hands shaking. "But I didn't—" "No," I cut her off, voice soft but lethal. "You did. You lied. You schemed. You thought your promises and smiles could buy away justice. But I prepared. I waited. I struck when the timing was mine." I saw the disbelief, the shame, the anger twisting her face. Her mother? Oblivious. Her lover? Irrelevant. The power had shifted, and she understood. The moment of triumph was quiet, almost invisible, but intoxicating. She had underestimated me. I left her there, staring at the screen, the weight of her own words pressing down like a vice. Silence filled the room, a slow, deliberate reminder of her failure. I didn't gloat, I didn't shout, that would be for amateurs. I let her realize it herself, the way the truth always hits hardest when it cannot be denied. Later, I walked through the house. Empty rooms, faint sunlight cutting through blinds, a stillness that felt like victory. I didn't need her apologies. I didn't need her tears. They were irrelevant. What mattered was balance restored. Justice measured and executed with precision. I thought of my daughter's childhood, and I mourned the innocence that betrayal had stolen. But I was unbroken, stronger, smarter. I had loved and lost, but I had not been defeated. In the quiet of my office, I sipped coffee, watching her scramble through consequences I had meticulously prepared. Her panic was subtle, tactical, my own kind of poetry. And I smiled, controlled, vengeful. A father, a strategist, a man who had taken the bitterest medicine and returned it sweeter than revenge could ever taste. I would not forgive. I would not forget. And yet, I felt closure. The house felt lighter, the air sharper. Power restored, lessons delivered. I was free. From the shadows of their lies, armed with proof, patience, and quiet fury. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than any scream. And in my silence, I had triumphed.